Hi everyone, it's me Joe. Today I'm doing my Gia Karanji inspired makeup tutorial for my supermodel series. Now, Gia sadly passed away in the 80s due to complications of AIDS and HIV, and it's a really sad, tragic story, and obviously Angelina Jolie depicts Gia in the famous film. Now, she was a lesbian, she'd had a troubled childhood, she'd had an abusive childhood, she'd come from some random back in the sticks place from everything I've read on her. And she was very good friends with people like Janice Dickinson and Eileen Ford back in the day of the supermodels of that era. Now, she got caught onto heroin, and it was just a really horrible, tragic story. And there's a passage in a Janice Dickinson book where she talks about how they were on set, I think for Scavullo or for Avedon or one of the huge photographers, and back in the day they used to just take bumps to get by. And Gia actually put some heroin in the bump and gave it to Janice, and Janice passed out on set, and they had a fist fight, and then they were friends again, and it just sounds like she was someone that was very troubled, and yeah, so inspiring because she came through a lot, and I think for a lot of people that look up to that era, she was an icon. Now, I'm really inspired by Wade Bandy, who was Richard Avedon's creative kind of makeup team head, and he used to work with Ara Gallant, and they used to be the kind of team that did this kind of aesthetic and who later inspired Kevin Aquan, who is one of my icons. I'm not one of these people that sees and does. I'm really into looking back down the line of inspiration and who inspired the people that inspired me, because that's how we learn, and we don't just get kind of like transfixed with what we see in front of us. We actually have to look deeper than that and find out what came from this, where did that come from, who inspired who. And Wade Bandy is definitely someone I reference quite a lot in my work, but I don't talk about it enough. His makeup is very similar to this, and I did more of his interpretation of the Cosmopolitan shoot that Gia did, because she was a face of Cosmo quite a few times. I really hope you enjoy it. I really enjoyed doing it. It was really nice to do this kind of makeup because it's got so many ties in how I've done my makeup for so many years, and I think it worked out really well. Alright guys, stay watching, subscribe, find me on Facebook, and if you do have any requests for supermodels, put them in the comments below because I have got so many that I want to do. Alright guys, thank you so much, enjoy the video and stay tuned. As with these routines, I'm not going to show you my base routine. I've literally got nothing on my skin apart from this new moisturiser I'm using by Simple. I just wanted to try a really cheap moisturiser. I really do like Simple products actually, they're very good. I'm going to plot my contouring and foundation in cream products. I'm going to be using Double Wear Maximum Cover, and I'm going to be using Demo Blend Concealers, and that's it. So I've really gone in with the extreme in the contours, and I've made the contours a lot bigger and the outside of the hairline a bit bigger. I'm not going to blend in this bit as much because this is visible in the photo, but I will blend and be happy. I'm going to start by buffing some Studio Fix into the contours so they're a little bit less extreme, because they did look like this in person, but our cameras have updated to the days of film and it doesn't quite have the same effect when I'm looking in the back of the camera right now. I don't want it to be that prominent when your face on, maybe just that much. Using the same matte brown I used on my contour, just again one of my products, I'm going to start sketching in eyebrows, and they were quite low down on Gia. She was absolutely stunning, but I want them to be almost like a warm tone, because then when I go in with the hairs in a second, it will bring a nice kind of bleach brow effect. Like so. And I'm going to match that up. Okay, so this is the contouring the brows and the hairline. Pretty much all done. Now let's go in with the eyes. Now the eyes for the shoot that I really want to do are really just simple black smoky eye, and they really work with the contour I've already sketched in. So as per always, I'm going to go in with the same colour contour that I've used and use that as a base for the eyeshadow. It's really easy to start with the darker colours when you're using cream products, because they're really easy to just go over the top and blend with, as opposed to going over with the opposite. So instead of starting off with the pale tones and blending dark ones over the top, which sometimes can overpower the lights and they get a bit murky, this way you can keep the lights like almost purer. So she has, and they always had like a lot of definition in the bridge here. And then I'm going to cheat my eye and pretend it's the same socket line. So drawing in my socket line here, and then building that slowly into there. And we don't need to be neat about this because again, we're going to blend it out with colour. So, using a paler concealer in a much, I'm going to go under the brow. I'm going to go in with eyeliner now most of that work is done. I'm going to be using Fluid Line by MAC, or the gel liner by MAC. And I'm going to carefully start sketching in the shape. And then I'm just going to do that on the top lid, and then I'm going to fill in the tide line and the lower lash line. So when you have your liner in, and my eye, I got some of my contacts, so my eye's a bit watery, excuse that. I'm going to be mixing my own black eyeshadow with a little bit of a brown, a matte brown by MAC, and I don't know this colour. I just have it in one of my, one of my clapper things. So I'm going to start by just smoking out the lower lash line a little bit down here. Just a touch. And then blending that up. And into the crease. Now when I get to this kind of point, this is when I take a small blending brush and I start working that into the brown. Just build that intensity up in layers, it's pretty simple. So I've matched up both sides, and now I'm going to start blending in some more of a darker brown. I'm going to use the Contour Eye Kit from Benefit, the brown in there, it's lovely, it's such a deep, rich chocolate matte brown. I do want to point out something because I keep thinking I'm overcompensating in these videos by making it look too easy. I've done so many tutorials now, I've probably done about 150. I've only got 50 of them online because I've done them in stages of camera upgrades, and I've taken them all down from JH Cosmetics and put them on JH Memoirs. But every time I've done videos where I really go into detail about how to change the eye shape, or rather the subtle differences that I see, I kind of get to a point where I read the comments and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm going to get another comment saying you talk too much, you're giving too much information. I haven't been mentioning in this series of supermodel makeup how the differences change the eye, but I'm trying to kind of like work with you guys and listen to what you're saying, but also find a balance with not giving too much information. Obviously most of the looks I've done have been brown, black, so they are very similar, but at the same time it's like there are major differences to the one I did yesterday, the Linda eye. It's about where you position your eye line to make your eye look more almond or more rounder or taller, which is the other one I've done. The Twiggy one's obviously quite different, but with this one I don't want you to think it's too similar to the other ones. So I really am working with you guys, so I really hope you appreciate that. And also the lighting, I'm still getting used to the lighting. It did take me quite a while to get used to the idea of filming under softbox because I'm actually NW30 at the moment, but I look NW10 on camera, and that's just, you can probably see when I hold something, like, if you can probably see my chest is darker and my foundation isn't my normal paleness. What you guys probably can't see as well is when I change the lights and I go into the studio mode, the actual contours, if they're lightly dusted, for example like, let me do one. If I just grab some of this dark brown shadow and I just put it on my hand lightly, can you see it on the camera? You can't actually see the contour, it just blurs through it, the light completely destroys it, but in real life you can see a brown smear. So it's very difficult because like in the edges of contours where you don't want there to be a harsh line, I've blended them out really nicely, like in the Tyra Banks tutorial I just did, but when I was posing out at the end, it didn't show up the detail because the light's literally, where is the contour that I just applied? And that's that brown. So you have to be aware of this, and I don't want to keep saying this in every video, but I'm going to say it in this one because I got a few comments and I was like, oh, stop it! Stop being nitpicky, do your own damn videos and see how hard it is sometimes. But yeah, alright, so that was my little mini rant. It's never a dull moment when I'm having a rant. Taking a brush like this, I'm just going to start working in that dark brown colour, and you can probably see now I've laid it over something else, it's quite dark, and I'm going to start just blending it into the back of this area. I'm just going to take my favourite regular eyeliner at the moment I'm using for these brown kind of 90s and 80s looks. I'm just going to use this to really outline the main parts that I want to see. So let's go here. So my lips are closer to Angelina as Gia, so I tried to keep the shape the same, but obviously I've got a lot more volume. Maybe I should do that. Don't want it that side, my lips are like that side. So I'm going to start just like using my finger to blend this into the lip, because my natural colour is very similar to what they've used. I just want it to be a little bit more browner. Okay, I'm going to be using brown mascara throughout first, Black Brown by MAC Retouching, and this is their curling masterpiece one. And I want this to just kind of like smoke out my eyes a little bit, and then I'm going to go in with some black against the roots, so they really do still have intensity, but they don't look so false, because my eyelashes are so long sometimes that for these looks where I don't want it to look like that, I want it to be a little bit more seductive and shorter than glamorous. I think this is really close to it, so I'm going to go with this. I'm going to change my outfit and my hair. Probably just going to do a side sweep because I'm not going to fill weave or anything today, but I might even put on a swimsuit. You never know, I'm not sure yet. I'll have to have a look in my wardrobe. I don't actually own anything beigey, but I'll have a look. Okay, so I have finished my Gia Karanji makeup. I have thrown my hair into one of those before the time of flat iron blow dries. So I was at my friend's pool party the other day and I threw together this random swimsuit thing. So it's kind of like a bit distorted from being crazy and drunk in a pool, but you know. So I really hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Subscribe to me on Facebook. Check out my t-shirt line because I've got a lovely few designs coming this week, and I will see you all soon.